if you're at that point where you feel like life is not going very good, but you're not really sure why, and you're depressed, you feel like everything's your fault, your self-esteem is at an all-time low, I want to tell you something. You may be experiencing a situation with a narcissist. Not fun and very serious. I didn't realize it. I really thought that I knew a narcissist. They're full of ego, they're self-centered. I don't know, they're just kind of kooky people. And you don't want to be around them. You know that too. Kind of controlling, right? This kind of thing. And I really thought I understood what a narcissist was. Oh my gosh, was I ever wrong? And you guys, this is really, really serious too. And that's why I'm talking right now to you. I was having a really rough night sleeping, which is really rare for me. And I've been seeing these videos about narcissism. And so I actually decided, I'm just going to get up right now. And when I did, I saw a whole bunch of videos again about narcissism. I'm like, you know what? I think that God is trying to tell me I need to pay attention to something about narcissism. So I watched these videos, one after the other. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I was married to a narcissist. And then it starts hitting me. No, it's way worse than that. I've got a whole bunch of narcissists that have been in my life. And some of them of which lately I've been just saying, I just can't have a relationship with you anymore. And I felt guilt about that. Well, now I know that this is a highly dangerous person. And matter of fact, every single video said to me that you need to get them 100% out of your life. And so I thought, wow, 100% out of my life. And I've done some of that lately. And I felt, like I said, I felt guilty about it. Who doesn't feel guilty when they cut somebody out of their life? You know what I mean? It's like you just have this feeling like that's not the right thing to do. That's not love. But I want to tell you what, you and your children may be in grave danger, because what you need to know about this narcissist is that it's way worse than you thought, because they know exactly what they're doing. And no, I just think I felt like a narcissist is just somebody who, I don't know, they're just the way they are. They were probably raised from a childhood that was kind of rough, and maybe that's why they're kind of victim-like, And I didn't really get it, that because of what's happened to them, they now feel like the world owes them. They feel like you owe them. And I don't know who the narcissist, if you're listening to this, you might be thinking, well, okay, I'm going to at least learn about this. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them. Everything is about them. They desire greatly a lot of praise and adoration. They need to be thought of, and they believe that you feel that they're all-knowing, all-wise, all unique, the top, the person you'd ever want to go to in any situation, on and on and on. They're the top dog. And nothing else will satisfy them. They demand 100% loyalty. And they also pick people that are, maybe would say codependent at least, not full of self-esteem that's quality. They maybe don't have the best opinion of themselves in the whole wide world, just maybe raised in codependency and not really having a full sense of themselves. Perfect person for them. So they come after these people, sweet, would do anything for you. And then they hook you. And then now you're in for the ride to serve them to the nth degree until there's just nothing left of you. And that's the truth. And that is not cool, because again, they know what they're doing. Highly dangerous, because it brings you down to the brink of death. Now, why would that be that it brings you to the brink of death? And let me tell you why. Because to the narcissist, they do not want you to know that this facade they've been putting on, that I'm all of this and I'm all of that, and I'm Mr. Wonderful and all knowing and all wise and everything you'd ever need and want. And if they figure out the truth, which this person that they've been living with perhaps for many years could expose this. No, God forbid, this could not possibly happen. And so they make sure that when, I don't even know, maybe they just know that they're what they're doing. They know that they're manipulating you. They know they're lying to you. And they know that they're mind fucking you. I'm just going to tell you the way that I see that. They know that they're playing with you. They know the games they're playing. And they just do it because they want to continue having the control over you. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be controlled by anyone anymore. I don't want to be controlled by religion, I don't want to be controlled by government. I don't want to be controlled by my husband. I don't want to be controlled by anyone. I want to be in my own right. And God wants us. We're sovereign beings. We're not meant to be controlled by humans. So when you're in the situation, they bring you down to an all-time low in the end. And then when you finally say, I've had enough, I can't do this anymore, and you say a little something like, for example, I'm sorry, I don't feel really comfortable with that. I think I'd like to check that out, or I don't know if I'd agree with that. I don't know. Just you show them that you don't fully trust them, and that is it. They start to begin the process of looking for someone else that they can control. They suddenly don't trust you anymore. You are not proving yourself to be loyal to them, and feeling the sense that you think that they're all so Mr. Wonderful. And when they feel that you don't feel that way about them anymore, it's the beginning of the end. They start looking for someone else that they can control and manipulate and use up. So even then, though, they're going to bring you down to the brink of the lowest of the low that you've been now. And now they're going to turn everyone against you that they possibly can. Because why? Because they don't want they don't want you to tell anyone about what's behind the mask. What's really been going on in their lives, what they're really like. So they're going to bring you down to the brink of absolute ruin. And when they feel very sure that you're ruined and they've turned everyone against you, maybe even including your children, like in my situation, then they're happy. And the worst thing that could ever happen with a narcissist is that you recover from that. They do not expect you to recover. They want to make sure you don't. So when you do, that's the worst thing that could ever happen, because God forbid, oh my God, they're going to maybe go and tell who I really am and what's really behind me. And God forbid. And so, I even say that they if they need to, they want to see that you're put away, or that you're even dead, or that you get so sick that there's just nothing of you left. So this is pretty serious, don't you think? And look, your children are involved in this. If you have children, they're directly affected by this. Because think about it. Where were you, let's say, 10 years ago? Or 15, 20? Where were you? What were you doing? What did you look like? What did you act like? Did you have confidence in yourself? Did you have a good self-esteem? Did you feel pretty happy? And did you look like you had happiness on your face? Now look at you. Look at some recent pictures. What do you think? How do you feel about yourself now after all these years? Is it good? Is it better? Is it stronger? And if not, why? Do you think you're really at fault here? Is everything really your fault? Are you to blame for everything? So I want to tell you, 20 years ago, I was in a really bad place. My husband had left me, and he's living with someone else, saying that nothing's happening. He just can't be around me because of my, quote, bad energy. And everything was my fault. I mean, the fact that his dreams hadn't come true is my fault. The fact that our debts were not paid and we're debt-free now, that's my fault. It didn't really matter what it was. Everything is my fault. And he made everyone believe that this is where they just take you down and make everyone turn against you by making everything your fault. It doesn't matter what it is. You are to blame. So this kind of happened. I would say, a couple years, maybe even before it all absolutely ended. And again, so what happened on that day is that I was in the mountains. I was alone. My children were not there. I think they were even partially moved out at this point. And at this point, I'm alone, I think, for several days at least. And I felt like, I was a bug in a rug, and that if somebody stepped right there, I would cease to exist. I just felt so small. I felt like God was angry with me, and any minute He's going to destroy me. I'm going to hell, or the lake of fire. The fire. When I stoke my fire in my fireplace, I'm trembling with fear, thinking I'm going to be in that fire, any time. So I was raised in a different religion where I didn't believe in hell. I believed in lake of fire. But at this point in my life, it was hell. So I'm thinking this, like, God is so mad at me that I'm just trembling, thinking he's going to kill me, and He hates me. I'm being told this, that God's unhappy with me. I'm being told this. Another one of the gaslighting things. That's another thing they do, is gaslight and manipulate you like that. It's somehow, everything's not okay. I'm not with them, not with me, not with anyone. I'm just this grossness on the earth, this blob of grossness that you just want to be rid of. I was in a bad place for sure. So I had this moment where in that house alone, I had something that came up out of the blue from my depths of my body, and it said, "No, I want to live." And I thought, whoa, what was that? It was powerful. not a voice really, just a, I don't know what you'd say, but it came from the depth of me. And I thought, what was that? I'm like, my God. I finally decided it had to be my soul. And so I was like, oh, this is just crazy. It's my soul just having a message for me, I guess. So I started beginning to try to live at that point. And that was, it was a tough time, man, I'll tell you what. But I started to learn how to live. And in the end, I did figure out what was going on. And I'll tell you about that in another story. But I did end up finding my happiness. I did end up standing up for myself. I did end up getting help. I did end up taking classes, reading books, Codependent No More, 12-step groups, everything I could figure out. And I met an amazing man who became my defender. And just for the crying out, when you're in a bad place, cry out. That's what I have to say about it. You don't deserve this. Your children don't deserve this. They're affected because when you're affected, those children are also affected, and they're learning very bad habits, ways of being, what's okay and what's not okay in a relationship. They're learning so much. You don't want to go down. If you go down, they go down. So this is a matter, I'm telling you, I feel I was so close to dying. I really was dying, truly. I remember one other thing that happened was this voice inside of me is like, get a job. And I'm thinking it's myself, but it kept on saying, it's like, go away, you dumb thought. I can't work. I'm so dysfunctional right now. There's no way I could get a job. But it wouldn't go away. So I finally sought out getting some clothes that could fit me from my sister, and I got a job. I can't even believe I got a job. And I just started fighting for my life, things got better and better. I did good in my job, but I was very dysfunctional in how I acted sometimes because my head would do this bobbing thing, and my eyes were bugging out when I get in trauma, and it was just pathetic. But I did good, and I was blessed in my job. And now I'm married, and I'm very happily married, but I had to begin the work. It's not just going to get better on its own. You have to do some work, and you need to get away. So what I learned from these videos I listened to that night is that you got to cut these people off 100%. And if you don't, they're just, like say you do for a while, it's like, I'm done with you for a while. I'm going to go and stay with my mom for a while or something. And then you go back, they're going to finish you off. They're going to just make sure that you are the lowest of the low and that you absolutely never rise again. And that's why this is dangerous, because they know what they're doing. They're master manipulators. And you don't need that. You don't want that. You don't deserve that. If you intend to do your purpose and why you're here on this earth, then you've got to stop this. You've got to end it. Look, cut the ties while you can. Cut the losses, because you've got to start over. Or if you just want to go down all the way to the depths of death and be deathly sick or in a mental institution, okay, but you don't want that. I don't want that for you. You don't deserve that. They want that for you if you're not going to be loyal to them and serve them, because the minute you stop serving them and you're a tool to them, you're just a tool. And if you're not able to serve their needs, they're done with you. If you're not able to stay loyal to them, they're done with you. They don't have real empathy. They don't understand that. And that's a weird thing to even comprehend. They're self-centered, selfish, they're victims, martyrs a lot of the time. Entitlement, they think that everything that you have, including your own life, is what they're going to get. They think they deserve that. It's what happened, I think, most of them when they were young. They just got into a victim mode, like, why did I get this bad hand, and I didn't deserve that, and now the world owes me, kind of a thing. But you are in the line of fire. And you don't want to be there anymore. I am so glad I got free. I'm so glad that I made this decision to cut the people out of my life that I have needed to, because you know what? It was surrounding me in every area of my life. So I just want to encourage you, look, you're worth it. This is dangerous. This is what you need to know. And this is what I did not know until, 5 days ago. And now I'm like, oh my God, this is way more serious than I could have ever imagined. So I hope that you take this seriously. I'm not just trying to mess with you. Go check out some videos. Check out mine. Look, I've got a website, angelasinspirations.com. And in there's a blog. First blog, you just go to the blog button. You'll see the blog about the 13, like a handy chart, one page, what basically is a narcissist in a nutshell. And it's based on all the things I studied plus what I personally experienced. So I know that they're true. So watch out, be careful, take me seriously, watch out for your children, know that you're of value, you have a purpose on this earth to fulfill, and this ain't going to get it done, okay? This is not going to get it done. Okay, listen, I'm an Empower Her Life coach as well. You can also check that out on my website if you're interested. Okay, thanks for listening. You're worth it. You are worth it. Come on now, stand up. You can do this. You are worth it. Thanks for listening. Until next time.